Oh, okay, first and princess. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Okay, and start. And then we can do Udilarana first, and then Jarana.
Next, I need to try again.
No, Purujit will stand. Purujit will stand.
So I put the cartels on.
Yeah, just take a cartels. Oh, we don't have so much time. Maybe let's just do Java Madhava. We'll do next time when we prepare more. Because, yeah. Should be Java Madhava. Should be primary. Right. You have the microphone? Take the microphone. But put it like a little further from yourself, you know? Like usual, so it doesn't pick up the kartals. Otherwise it's horrible. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Just put the phone on this stand, on the camera stand. It's better with the light. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana The charger is by the portable battery charger. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Power bank. Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari. It's okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramsa Parivrajikacharya Ashatara Shati His Divine Grace B.L.I.S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramsa Parivrajikacharya Ashatara Shati His Divine Grace Shila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Acharya Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sri Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Sir Prabhu, do you want to continue?
Gangamai ki jai, Yamunamai ki jai, Tumastev ki jai, Bhaktidev ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktavan ki jai, and Dai Gaura Premanandi, Hare 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 Bol. All glories to the Sambodhivaris.
Hare Krishna,
Glories to the Sambodhivaris.
Hare Krishna,
All glories to the Sambodhivaris.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishnu Bhutri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deva Guruvani Brahmacharya Nirvishesha Shunamari Paschartadishtari. Phone? Who's watching? Hare Krishna. Please write Hare Krishna into the comment section. It brings great auspiciousness. No, she's bringing the phone. I want phone. I'm very sophisticated. We're streaming on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Schmumble, all these other platforms. So whatever you're watching, write Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Neil Prabhu, Srinivas, Agori, Bronwyn, Shamdai, very good, Dennis, Gabriela.
One question about the class.
Yes?
So there's some misunderstanding. Basically, in order for us to start, Nityananda will have to today cook during the class. Is that okay? Just today?
Okay. Dan, Hare Krishna, Dan. Anybody else? YouTube? Anybody?
Did anyone check if the volume is working?
Danny. Hare Krishna, Danny.
Can you check to see if the volume is working? Frank is back.
Frank is back.
Jimcon.
Jimcon.
6545.
Hare Krishna.
Twitch.
Okay. And TikTok?
TikTok.
You can check here.
Oh. Goth Sparkles is back.
Who?
Goth Sparkles.
Goth Sparkles.
Yeah, this is not her first time.
Okay. Goth.
Goth Sparkles.
Like that genre of music and fashion.
Yeah.
Goth. Okay. And Michelle Williams, Hare Krishna. I also saw Tony, but I guess she's not there anymore. 15 viewers. Unbelievable. Very good. Let's have 15,000. What do you say, Maitreya?
Why not?
Why not? Let's do it. Okay, so we're studying Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 14, text 35. 3:14:35. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Sorry, Mataji, you gonna share now?
No, I'm just getting the shloka. I'm just getting the shloka.
Ah, okay.
I can share.
All right. Hare Krishna, Alexandra. Namo Rudraya Mahati
Namo Rudraya Mahate.
Devayograya Midhushi
Devayograya Midhushe.
Shivaya Niyasta Dandaya
Shivaya Niyasta Dandaya.
Dhrita Dandaya Manyave
Dandaya Manyave. Namo Rudraya Mahate.
Namo Rudraya Mahati
Devayograya Midhushe.
Devayograya Midushi
Shivaya Niyasta Dandaya.
Shivaya Niyasta Dandaya
Dhrita Dandaya Manyave.
Dhrita Dandaya Manyave
Namo Rudraya Mahate.
Namo Rudraya Mahati
Devayograya Mitushe.
Devayograya Midushi
Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya.
Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya
Rita Dandaya Manyave.
Dhrita Dandaya Manyave
Namo Rudraya Mahate.
Namo Rudraya Mahati
Devayograya Mitushe.
Devayograya Midushi
Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya.
Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya
Rita Dandaya Manyave.
Dhrita Dandaya Manyave Namaha.
Namaha.
All obeisances unto Rudraya, unto the angry Lord Shiva, Mahate, unto the great, Devaya, unto the demigod, Ugraya, unto the ferocious, Midushe, unto the fulfiller of all material desires, Shivaya, unto the all auspicious, Nyastadandaya, unto the forgiving, Dhritadandaya, unto the immediate chastiser, Manyave, unto the angry. Translation. Hare Krishna, Devi Shakti Mataji. Let me offer my obeisances unto the angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the very ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Diti prayed for the mercy of Lord Shiva very cleverly. She prayed, "The Lord can cause me to cry, but if He likes, He can also stop my crying, because He is Ashutosha. He is so great that if He likes, He can immediately destroy my pregnancy. But by His mercy, He can also fulfill my desire that my pregnancy not be spoiled. Because He is all auspicious, it is not difficult for Him to excuse me from being punished, although He is now ready to punish me because I have moved His great anger. He appears like a man, but He is the Lord of all men." Next. Sanaha prasidatam bhamo Bhagavan urun anugraha Vyadyasyapi anukampyanam Strinam devaha satipatihi Saha he na with us Prasidatam be pleased Bhamaha brother-in-law Bhagavan the personality of all opulences Uru very great Anugraha merciful Vyadasya of the hunter Api also Anukampyanam of the objects of mercy Strinam of the women Devaha the worship of the Lord Satipati the husband of Sati the chaste. Hare Krishna Manish. Translation: Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. He's also the worshipable Lord of all women. He is the personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by the uncivilized hunters. Purport: Lord Shiva is the husband of Sati, one of the sister of Diti. Diti invoked the pleasure of her sister Sati, so that Sati would request her husband to excuse her. Besides that, Lord Shiva is the worshipable Lord of all women. He is naturally very kind towards women, on whom even the uncivilized hunters also show their mercy. Since Lord Shiva is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously Diti's unavoidable offense, which occurred due to her faulty nature. Every virgin girl is supposed to be a devotee of Lord Shiva. Diti remembered her childhood worship of Lord Shiva and begged his mercy. Maitreya uvacha Svasargayisya shisham lokyam Ashashanam pravepatim Nivarta sandhya niyamo Bharayamaha prajapati. Maitreya uvacha. The great sage Maitreya said, Svasargasya, of her own children, Ashisham, welfare, Lokyam, in the world, Asashanam, desiring, Pravepatim, while trembling, Nivrta, averted from, Sandhya Niyamaha,
Sandhya-niyamaha,
the rules and regulations of evening.
the rules and regulations of evening.
Bharyam,
Hayam,
unto the wife.
unto the wife.
Aha,
Ah,
said.
said.
Prajapati,
Prajapati,
the progenitor.
progenitor.
Translation. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyapa thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of fear that her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. Kashyapa uvacha
Kashyapa-uvacha,
aprayatyat atmanaste
aprayata yad atmanaste,
doshan mauhurtikad uta
doshan-mahurtikaduta,
mani deshati charena
manideshati-charina,
devanam chati helanat.
devanam jati-kena.
Kashyapa uvacha,
Kashyapa-uvacha,
the learned Brahmana Kashyapa said,
the learned Brahmana Kashyapa said,
aprayatyat,
aprayatya,
because of the pollution,
because of the pollution,
atmanaha,
atmanaham,
of the mind,
of the mind,
te,
te,
your,
your,
doshat,
doshat,
because of defilement,
because of defilement,
mauhurtikat,
mahurtika,
in terms of the moment,
in terms of the moment,
uta,
uta,
also,
also,
mat,
mat,
my,
my,
nidesha,
desha,
direction,
direction,
aticharena,
vicharena,
being too neglectful,
being too neglectful,
devanam,
devanam,
of the demigods,
demigods,
cha,
cha,
also,
also,
atihelanat,
atihelanat,
being too apathetic.
being too apathetic.
Translation. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your minds being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my directions, and because of your being apathetic to the demigods, everything was inauspicious. Purport. The conditions for having good progeny in society are that the husband should be disciplined in religious and regulative principles, and the wife should be faithful to the husband. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that sexual intercourse, according to religious principles, is a representation of Krishna consciousness. Before engaging in sexual intercourse, both the husband and the wife must consider their mental condition, the particular time, the husband's direction, and obedience to the demigods. According to Vedic society, there is a suitable auspicious time for sex life, which is called the time for Garbhodana. Deity neglected all the principles of scriptural injunction, and therefore, although she was very anxious for auspicious children, she was informed that her children would not be worthy to be the sons of a Brahmana. There is a clear indication herein that a Brahmana's son is not always a Brahmana. Personalities like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu were actually born of Brahmanas, but they were not accepted as Brahmanas because their fathers did not follow the regulative principles for their birth. Such children are called demons or Rakshasas. There were only one or two Rakshasas in the previous ages due to negligence of the disciplinary methods. But during the age of Kali, there is no discipline in sex life. How then can one expect good children? Certainly, unwanted children cannot be a source of happiness in society. But through the Krishna consciousness movement, they can be raised to the human standard by chanting the holy name of God. That is the unique contribution of Lord Chaitanya to human society. Om Agyanadari Nandasya Jnana Shalakam Chakshunarveritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Shri Prabhupada. So we continue our discourse concerning the activities of Kashyapa Muni, Diti, and the discussion about Lord Shiva. Just recently, there was some discussion on Facebook whether Lord Shiva is a demigod or not. I think I have posted some quotes, because according to Narottam Das Thakur, Vaishnavas, devotees in this sampradaya, should strictly avoid worshipping demigods. We have this tendency to deviate from pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna warns all His devotees. He says that if your intelligence is irresolute, if your attention is split into so many different things, you cannot practice Krishna consciousness with great determination. Resolute determination does not take place. You have to have one-pointed intelligence and resolute determination. Vyavasatmika buddhi. Eka Gurunandana. Srila Prabhupada said that this shloka has been the inspiration for him to come to the United States and spread this Krishna consciousness movement. So, these demigods and demigod worship connected to them is actually meant for non-devotees, to induce them. Because non-devotees, what is a non-devotee? Non-devotee is thinking of his own sense organs. He wants to satisfy his senses only. That is the difference. A devotee wants to satisfy Krishna's senses. Non-devotee wants to satisfy his senses or the senses of his extended family and his extended family. Extended selfishness. Expand the selfishness. There's a nice analogy in this connection. When you throw a rock in a lake, ripples are created. So the ripple is going, and ultimately it dissolves. So if we throw many rocks at different directions, see, intelligence, split, deviation, then these ripples, they will clash with one another. Similarly, we're clashing here because the center of our life is sense gratification, not Krishna gratification. Whereas if you throw all these stones in one spot, the same spot, then there will be ripples, but they will not clash with one another. They will not cross. So that is Krishna consciousness movement. We want everyone to be one pointed, or have one pointed attention to Krishna. And for this reason, Narottam Das Thakur says that this demigod worship should be strictly forbidden. We must follow the Acharya Sampradaya, Acharya Parampara. Sometimes the objection is given that the gopis, they were praying to Katyayani. This is one of the forms of goddess Durga. So gopis, Lord Chaitanya says that they're the highest devotees, the most advanced devotees ever. And they're worshipping demigods. Do you mean to say that the gopis are bogus? No, we don't say. But are you on that level? No. We're constantly being tempted to gratify our senses. It's very easy to deviate. So maybe it was the norm previously, the Vaishnavas would also worship demigods along with chanting Hare Krishna, along with the worship of Krishna. Actually, even if you do the demigod puja, Vishnu is always there. So Vishnu you cannot avoid. But there is a tendency. So in order to check that tendency, Narottam Das Thakur, he said, no more. Kali Yuga is coming. Facebook is coming. YouTube is coming. So many nonsense things are coming. So many distractions are coming. The Acharya is Trikala Jnana. He knows past, present and future. And that is how these commentaries take place. Every Acharya, he gives a commentary. It's not that you are a big Diksha Guru and you have not written anything. You have not contributed. Diksha payate. It consists of two words, Devyam Jnana, Di, and Ksha, Kshapayate. Expansion, elaboration. You must elaborate. But if you're not Trikala Jnana, if you don't know the past, present and future, and you're simply guessing, then you only misguide people. You must be Trikala Jnana. So Narottam Das Thakur, he knew what was coming, and that is why he said, no more. Don't worship these demigods. So I posted this quote and there was some objection. Some devotees said that no. You cannot call Lord Shiva a demigod. But they didn't explain who Lord Shiva was according to their understanding. He is a great Vaishnava. He is one of the greatest demigods, but still is a demigod. And here in Shloka number 35, the word is used, demigod. Prabhupada clearly says here, demigod. He is simultaneously the very ferocious, great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. The word Devaya is used. So, again, this is what the Bhagavatam says, and our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, he also translates like that, demigod. So where are you coming with this idea that Lord Shiva is not a demigod? Even, okay, you might say that
he is more than the demigods. But if the Acharya uses that terminology, how can it be wrong? How can you object? If you want to explain what type of demigod he is, then you're very much welcome to do that. But you cannot say, oh, this word demigod is wrong. Prabhupada used that word. Do you think Prabhupada is a fool? That he doesn't know how to speak? Many times I have mentioned in these classes that we should be careful about pseudo-devotion, pseudo-devotees. It is not that simply wearing kantimala and tilak and shika or sari makes you a devotee. These are of course very beautiful, they're very nice, everybody should wear, it's good. It creates auspicious atmosphere. It reminds us of Krishna. But it is not everything. Anyone who is criticizing the Acharya either directly or indirectly, he is a pseudo-devotee. Never mind, even if he's following the rules and regulations very strictly. You cannot understand Krishna consciousness unless you approach the Acharya. Acharya Purushaveda. You must worship the Acharya as good as God. So this is how you know who is behind. So of course many might be simply misled. We should not now go and fight all pseudo-devotees, so now let's kill them. Now someone might be misled. But at least we ourselves should not be pseudo-devotees. I am very sensitive to this. If someone is criticizing Prabhupada, I can tell. And actually it sounds like glorification. Sometimes devotees say, Prabhupada suffered so much on the Jaladuta boat while coming to the US. He suffered so many heart attacks. Oh, he suffered so much. So it sounds very nice, isn't it? Sounds very, you have great respect. But actually it is bogus. Bogus number one. It is a blasphemy to say that the Guru suffers. Is a blasphemy. Why? Because that indicates that the Guru is subject to the material nature, material energy. Devotee, as soon as he surrenders, immediately Krishna takes charge. Even a neophyte devotee, you can see the devotees, how they have improved their life since they became devotees. They're so happy, smiling, chanting, eating nice foodstuffs, dressing so beautifully. It is immediately. Krishna is sending invitation to Goloka Vrindavan, Goloka invitation. He's giving you little hints. Yes. The transcendental world is full of happiness. And do you mean to say that the Guru who has connected us with this wonderful culture of Krishna consciousness, that he is under some spell of the material nature? If he is, how can he liberate you? One should surrender to the liberated spiritual master. He must be liberated. So, this is a misconception. Again, someone brought something new. There's always some inventor, devotee inventor. And you cannot invent anything new unless you blaspheme or you go against the Acharya. Because Srila Prabhupada, he laid down the foundation very, very clearly. So there's no place to escape
So if you want something new, if you want to be special, then necessarily you must make something up. And you must contradict the Acharya. So here deity is praying to Lord Shiva. Kashyapa Muni, her husband, he was a devotee of Lord Shiva. He was an impersonalist. That was the flaw. Srila Prabhupada explained before. The devotee never becomes victimized by Maya. Because a devotee, again, he is protected. Krishna lifts the influence of the material energy. Krishna lifts that. That's how you can follow these regulative principles. That's the secret. Sometimes people are wondering, how can you do this? How is that possible? Impossible. This is our life and soul. Yes, it is impossible on your own accord. But when Krishna helps you, then it becomes very easy. Where in a history, young men, young women in the Western countries are abstaining from illicit sex life. Even within marriage, they don't have illicit sex life. Where is that in the history? That means that Krishna is showering benedictions. Of course, for non-devotees, no sex, that is the greatest suffering. But devotees, they feel very happy. Because they're tasting the higher taste. Param drishta nivartate. That's the secret. That higher taste comes when we serve Krishna sincerely and Krishna reciprocates. So we should always meditate on it. Am I serving Krishna to the best of my ability? Or am I deviating to someone else, worshipping someone else? Why people worship these demigods? Because the demigods, they fulfill material desires very easily. Lord Shiva is called Ashutosha. Very easily pleased. That's why everybody is after Shiva. And even in devotee circles, you can see this subtle influence. Oh, he's not a demigod, please. What do you mean he's not a demigod? So is he the Supreme Lord? He is so exalted, undoubtedly. Lord Shiva is very exalted. He is not even a Jiva Tattva. He is in between, Shambhu Tattva. But be careful. Because there are so many injunctions. For example, in the Padma Purana, there are 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name. And the offense number 2 is that if you equalize the names of Brahma and Shiva or other demigods with Krishna, that is an offense. And if you're offending the holy name, then you're not going to go back home, back to Godhead. Rest assured, anyone who's an offender, he cannot go there. Krishna doesn't want offenders in the spiritual world. The spiritual world is full of devotees. That is why it is so blissful there. Because everybody is a devotee, unalloyed. Everybody has the same focus, Krishna. But a non-devotee, he cannot. He must offend. So Krishna doesn't want that. So why unnecessarily risk? Narottam Das Thakur says, don't do it. Srila Prabhupada himself, he said, don't do it. Krishna says, don't do it. Don't worship demigod. And still, maybe we can worship. Maybe. See, this maybe, that is the beginning of your fall down. Now, maybe I try, only one time I worship. Maybe I do, maybe I introduce little Shiva Lingam on my altar. What is the harm? There is great harm. As soon as you go against the Guru, then you're nowhere. Your whole structure of spiritual life is going to crumble one by one. Because then you start thinking, oh well, why not also disobey the other instruction? Why this illicit sex is so bad? I'm married, it's okay. And little ganja, well, Lord Shiva was also smoking little ganja, so I'm a Shiva. This is how Maya comes. Maya doesn't come immediately. Maya comes, and just like the sculptor is chiseling, from a stone slab, a beautiful statue, Maya is slowly chiseling your false ego, your false identity. As soon as you deviate from Krishna consciousness, you assume false identity. Sometimes people say, oh, this is not for me, this Krishna consciousness. What do you mean it's not for you? This is Sanatana Dharma. This is the nature of the soul. The soul is always serving. So even if you don't serve Krishna, you must serve the material energy. Service you cannot avoid. What do you mean that, oh, this is not my thing? It's just like pungency and chili. You cannot separate. Water and liquidity, you cannot separate. Soul and service, you cannot separate. But we assume this false identity, Ishvara Bhava, I am the controller. I am the enjoyer. These are the false identities we assume. So it comes slowly. I serve, but I enjoy a little bit. I need a little bit of controlship. And then from that little bit, the seed, the unwanted kripa, is growing until you give up Krishna consciousness. Even it can come to that point. Just like you see, there's a plant or vegetable or flower you try to cultivate. So that kripa is there, but simultaneously there's also a wheat kripa. And the wheat, the wheat is growing very easily. The vegetable, the fruit, I heard that cashews, the cashew nuts are very, very difficult to cultivate. It takes great patience. So they take time, but the wheat doesn't take any time. Nobody is cultivating wheat. I don't mean that wheat, but the wheat. But the wheat is growing. You don't have to take care of the wheat. The point of the wheat is that you have to cut it out, not to water it. Everybody is concerned, what about my wheat? I have the garden, that's okay, but what about my wheat? The wheat also needs a little water. No, it doesn't need water. The wheat is always parasiting. The wheat needs to be cut out. So when we cut out the wheat, it is very painful because we're so much attached, but it has to be done. And that is why devotee association and the association of the spiritual master is so nice, because even if I am unwilling to cut the wheat, the devotees will help me to do it anyway. They will encourage me. So there's this weed of karma and jnana, sense gratification, praying to the demigods for material assets, and then in frustration, trying to merge with God. These are the two main weeds. All the other weeds, they're stemming from this. So deity was praying to Shiva like that. Please save my pregnancy. I have made a mistake. Prabhupada says, since Lord Shiva is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature. Women have defective nature. So Lord Shiva, he knew what is the defective nature means. Women are more lusty. They're more materialistic. Is that bad? No, nothing is good, nothing is bad. It works. Why? Because the baby has to come into this world. And if the woman is not lusty, then the baby will not have any home, nothing. So that's how it works. The sex impulse is there to make the men lusty and the woman lusty, so they accumulate material assets and make a nice home so the baby can grow up. Otherwise the mankind would just die off. Everything has its purpose. Nothing is purposeless. This purposelessness philosophy, this is coming from these impersonalists and atheists. Oh, it's just accident. This was created by accident. This happened by accident. Everything accident. For them, accident is God. But we Vaishnavas, we understand Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnarudachite Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishate. Everything is perfect, everything is complete. Everything has a meaning in the grand scheme of Krishna's material manifestation. So, if you read these kind of passages, ladies, you should not take it personally. Man is also defective. He might not be so lusty, but he might be defective in some other ways. Wet stool, dry stool. I have heard this also. Sometimes devotee girls, they say, oh, I wish I was a brahmachari in a male body. It is more favorable to Krishna consciousness. So that's just like saying, oh, now I have a dry stool, but I want liquid stool. Oh, so nice, liquid stool. That doesn't make any sense. Whatever damn nonsense body you have, doesn't matter. Chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says here that even if the Garbhodana Samskara is not being followed, by chanting Hare Krishna, those who are fallen, they can be elevated. So there is no harm, even if you might have some low-class body. Actually, a woman's body is not low-class. It is not necessarily unwanted. But there might be even some worse situation when the child is unwanted and they create disturbance. So we are here to collect all these unwanted children and bring them to their father Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness movement. That was a mistake done by Diti. She didn't follow the rules and regulations for begetting children. This Garbhodana Samskara There's some regulations. The husband should be obeyed. The time should be observed properly, not that having sex in any time. There is an auspicious time, inauspicious time. They must consider their mental condition, husband and wife. And there must be obedience to the demigods. If you're obedient to Krishna, automatically all the demigods are pleased. You don't have to separately now worship demigods. So she neglected this, and on account of this defect, these great demons appeared. But Diti was so eager to have children that she wouldn't agree to have an abortion. And she was praying to Lord Shiva, please preserve my demon children. We also pray like that. Never mind what kind of Hiranyakashipu I becoming. We're going to make him Krishna conscious. As soon as the little Hiranyakashipu gets kirtan and prasadam, he will forget. He becomes Haridas Thakur. So, anyway. Otherwise, no, the children are demons. This is very horrible. So, she was asking for protection. Lord Shiva would protect her. This how, people are so foolish. They say, how can God allow suffering? They can't conceive that there is someone else suffering except them. So many people are suffering. So many animals are suffering. The whole world is suffering. And they think only I am suffering. Why me? Why God created suffering for me? So she was praying to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva gave her protection. He protected Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, although they were demons. See, Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava, and he's protecting the demons. How can you make any sense of this? If you have this black and white fanatical thinking, oh, good guy, bad guy, oh, if you read the Bhagavatam, you'll be very bewildered. Why this voice came from the sky when Krishna was born? The voice came from the sky, told Kamsa that this child will kill you. Why that happened? Why Srila Prabhupada's Godbrothers deviated from their spiritual master? Prabhupada says this was divinely orchestrated. Krishna inspired this deviation. What? Krishna establishes dharma and then he introduced some deviation. Why he told Shankaracharya to spread this Mayavad philosophy? Every day we're praying, Nirvishesha Shunnavadi, please protect us from this Mayavad philosophy. Srila Prabhupada came for that reason, to smash it. And Krishna is introducing it. So is Prabhupada fighting against Krishna? What is this? If you think like this, then the whole Bhagavatam, the whole philosophy, you'll be so bewildered. So, yes, sometimes it happens. The workings of the Lord are so complex. The karma is so complex. It's not about suffering or enjoying, or good guys or bad guys. The whole purpose of this existence here is to inspire to become Krishna conscious. So these Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they came and this and that, but then Lord Nrsimhadev came. And Prahlad Maharaj came. And we can meditate on their pastimes and ask for their protection. So, yeah, we have to understand very scientifically, not like a dull-headed. It is not, Bhagavatam is not meant for dull-headed people. Okay, so any questions? Yes?
The Bhagavatam is not meant for dull-headed people. Why are we distributing it so massively on the streets to mostly dull-headed people?
Well, because the sound is so powerful, it's transcendental. That even he's dull-headed, the vibration will act. But that doesn't mean that I should remain dull-headed. Nor people should remain dull-headed. We should instruct them. Along with book distribution, we should also personally explain the philosophy. We should support them. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that when a devotee is advancing slowly in Krishna consciousness, the other devotees, they should enlighten him, they should support him, just so that the initiation can take place. So they contribute to this process of initiation with the spiritual master. So we should also do that.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not so lusty, then, and you're not interested in sex life, or you're not like crazy about it.
That is frustration. You must be interested in sex life. That's what I was saying. You cannot remain in a neutral position. Either you serve Krishna or you serve Maya. The only way how to become free from this sex impulse is to become fully Krishna conscious. Otherwise it's not possible. It will manifest in a gross way or a subtle way, this way or that way. That must be there. See, the subtle sex means controlship. Ishvara Bhav. This is sex life in subtle form.
What does that Ishvara Bhav look like?
Controlship. You control. You want to control. You don't want to serve.
Like, can you give maybe an example of how that might manifest?
You're controlling for no reason. You don't want to serve Krishna. You want to control.
Is there maybe some like day-to-day example?
Yeah. You want to be guru. Although nobody asks you to be a guru, you want to push yourself as a guru. That's a wonderful example. Just like so many people, we have the experience. I'm giving a class and then someone asks a question and then next thing you realize that it was not a question, it was the beginning of his class.
How do we avoid?
You must engage in service. Make service the aim of your life. More than marriage. Marriage is subdivision of that service. Yes? Your question is answered? No?
Yeah.
You said if someone is not interested in sex life, then what? Then he's liberated soul. Can go back to Godhead.
I was curious because, it takes 300 lifetimes, is that right, to realize that sex life is abominable?
Yeah.
So what if you do think don't really want, if you're not so attracted by it, is that a good thing?
Yes, very good.
Is it artificial?
Well, it depends, if you just like, oh, sex life, it's so bad for 2 days, and then the third day you're lusty again, that is superficial. It should not be taken so seriously. Prabhupada, he says, this detachment from sex life doesn't mean impotent. Sometimes, there's this Ramakrishna, this bogus guru. He had so much sex that he became impotent. He had sex with all the women in the village. So then his brother, he said, okay, you have to marry. So he married, but he had no potency left. So then he started calling his wife a mother. And foolish people say, oh, he's so... Because usually we call Mataji, just so, we don't feel sexual attraction. So he was calling even his own wife a mother. So everybody was like, wow, he's really advanced. Even his own wife, feels no attraction. So he must be beyond sex impulse. He must be a real Paramahamsa. But that was not why he was detached. He was detached because he had so much sex life before. So that is not the idea. Okay? Out of disgust. There's a cycle. Bhog and Tyag. You enjoy, but you cannot enjoy forever. You must renounce. But that is part of that sense gratification. You renounce, just like eating, right? You eat, you're very hungry, you enjoy, oh, rasagula, oh, sweet rice, oh, this. But then there's a point you can't take anymore. So then you take rest, you wait for a few days, and when the appetite, and then you back. So when we speak of this freedom from sex life, as devotees have, great souls, that means that the desire, root of that desire is cut out. It will never sprout again. And they love Krishna. They're always full of love of Krishna. It is not some kind of like a dry person is like this. I feel so sick desire. Oh, woman, I must kill. He is full of love. Look at Srila Prabhupada. Always smiling, always kind, always cracking jokes. Krishna consciousness, susukam, is full of pleasure. And Srila Prabhupada actually even had sex life. In his Grihastha period, he had so many children. So even being free from sex desire doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy sex life. You still might have sex life, but you're detached.
How do you have sex life but be detached?
Well, you're serving Krishna. Just like we take prasadam also. You enjoy prasadam, right?
Yes.
But why you enjoy? Because Krishna has given this. So nice. You appreciate Krishna. You think of Krishna while you're taking that prasadam. Or you think of that devotee who made that prasadam, how nicely Hamsini did, or Dhananjaya did, or Maitreya did, or Daivi Shakti. No, Daivi Shakti, no. No.
So when devotees have sex life, we're supposed to think of Krishna?
That I don't know exactly, that you will have to study. But try to get the idea. Sex life is not bad. The sex pleasure is not bad. But make a Krishna conscious child. Then it's okay. Then it's fine. It's fine. It's good. Man and woman also. It's not bad combination. Okay, Daivi Shakti is laughing. I hope, because I was afraid she's going to become offended.
I have another question. This.
But there are many others.
Oh,
They also want.
okay.
You can ask me anytime. After we can discuss.
Okay.
Okay? Gabriela, we are not taking offense. It makes perfect sense what is written in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is in regards to the women. And in Srila Prabhupada's purport, women indeed are most lustful and materialistic because they have the deep desire to have and raise children, but they have other qualities that are supporting them in Krishna consciousness, such as empathy, compassion, less ego than men in general. Yes, very true. Yes, less ego. Girls are so eager to serve. Men, if you know, where's Maxim? If you want any service from men, yeah, it's like squeezing blood from the stone. But girls are so nice. They're simple-minded, soft-hearted. So don't, again we see things in this fanatical way. Either someone is a demon or he's an angel, and women are good, men are good. They're just different. They have different qualities. And if they combine for Krishna consciousness, then it's very, very good. Bhakta Neil, he sent this purport about Sadashiva. You can read that. Rudra, who is an expansion of Sadashiva and who appears in unlimited universes, is also a Guna-avatar, qualitative incarnation, and is the ornament of all the demigods in the endless universes. Okay. Neil is asking, the initiation is ongoing and eternal? Yes.
TikTok, ask your questions now.
Danny is asking, are any of Prabhupada's descendants known? Yeah, our Devi Shakti, she met Srila Prabhupada's grand-granddaughter. Danny says, thank God for women, they're good ones. Okay, yes?
Well, it's not exactly related.
Well, then don't read. If it's not related, we don't have time.
Like, it's a Krishna conscious question, but it's not exactly related to the shloka.
Okay.
What Elson says, what make the individual soul different from the supreme soul if in the beginning it was only God?
No. God is not one. God is not alone in the beginning. Natu evam jatu nasam natva nemi janaripaha nachayvana bhavishyamaha sarvabhaya mata param. Krishna says, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. The Bhagavad Gita. So we are eternally individual. God is in the spiritual world. He is not alone there. He's surrounded by associates, by his devotees. In the material world, yeah, you can say God was alone at the beginning, but not in the spiritual world. Spiritual world, it would be so boring. You think that God is alone there, suffering in loneliness? What kind of God is there? He's there, full of opulence, just like a king. King has his court.
Lisa Jane says, if God didn't want men and women to be affectionate, then why let people get married?
Oh, who said that? That God didn't want men and women to be affectionate. If he didn't want them to be affectionate, why he created in such a way the combination? Man is attracted by woman and woman is attracted by men. So who did this? So God created like this. So why you say he didn't want them to be attracted? The difficulty is that we become attracted to the body. And the body is temporary. Whereas we are eternal. The soul is eternal. So if you become attracted to that which is temporary, then you must suffer. Because there's a saturation point, there's a destruction, there's death, there's disease, so you suffer. You become attracted, yeah, but then you also have to suffer. Yeah?
Kubeya, is worshipping demigods considered Mayavadi and not Krishna conscious?
Yes, also Mayavadi can be considered. Shankaracharya, he recommended these 5 demigods. You worship them and then you dispose of the demigod and you merge with God. That was his idea. So we don't support that. You cannot merge with God. Your individuality is eternal. Yes?
Okay. I'm not sure if this is connected because I don't know what this word means.
Uh-huh.
It might be about Shiva. Blissful Servant on YouTube says,
Yeah.
a person may fall in Bhakti Yoga but not in Sharanagati. Should we accept Sharanagati? As per Shastras, Sharanagati is much simple than Bhakti Yoga.
Well, Sharangati means surrender, the path of surrender. So that is Bhakti Yoga. There's no difference. Taivi Shakti is asking, how does it manifest if we have unwanted seeds growing? Not coming to the programs, arguing with the devotees, not following the regulative principles, offending the holy name, sleeping on the rounds. Should I continue?
Yes.
Being harsh for no reason, creating conflicts, trying to be a guru, being very ambitious for name and fame, creating disturbance to other living entities, harming them, killing them. All these are symptoms that the weeds are growing. Yes?
That's it.
That's it, okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Namo Om Vishnupadaaya Krishna-related Bhurtri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Brahacharina Nirvishesha Shunavari Paschatari Krishnari. Why not set up this Govinda like while the class is going on?
Thank you, it's a good idea.